How can Facebook and social media in general be an asset to someone who is running a political campaign? Rather than try to figure this out myself, I am super excited today to be hosting Matthew Small on the channel. Now, Matthew is someone who has run for local council in Hamilton, New Zealand, and over a period of 4 years has grown his Facebook page to more than 2,100 likes, which is quite impressive. He was kind enough to take some time out of his day to discuss how he uses social media to stay politically relevant, especially as his next council tilt approaches. Now, just before we get started with today's interview, please don't forget to smash that like button down below and consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. And with that said, let's see what Matthew has to say. Okay, so we're live now, Matthew, and let's just get straight into this interview. Start by telling us a bit more about yourself and what your background is.
Kia ora everyone, my name is Matthew Small. I live in Hamilton and I currently work as a supported living facilitator. I have stood in Hamilton City Council elections twice, one in 2018 and one in 2019. I'm very passionate about Hamilton. I'm very passionate about accessibility and bringing big events to Hamilton.
Why do you think Facebook in particular is so important for people like yourself who are running for council or mayor or even people in parliament?
I think it's very important that we use social media, especially trying to interact with our younger audiences. Typically, older people, 65 plus, vote in local government elections. So it's very important to talk about the issues that matter to young people and that might get their attention.
This is something that has come up quite a lot, and that is the topic of getting young people out and voting. Do you find that if politicians, council members, and mayors used Facebook to create more meaningful discussions, do you think it'll help engage young people more and change their mind about getting out there to go and vote?
I think it's very important that we engage with young people through social media, especially because young people don't vote. Now, I have engaged as much as I can. I've invested money on Facebook, trying to engage what young people feel, what they want in the future. And I've done that through polls, and I think that's been quite effective. It engages a lot of people, a lot of different opinions, which I welcome. And we talk about the issues that might matter to young people. So bringing concerts and sports to Hamilton is the perfect example.
Could you maybe give us an example or two of these campaigns?
Bringing the Rugby World Sevens to Hamilton. Now, everyone thought it was a joke, but we ended up getting 6,000 people behind the idea. The private sector invested their money. Every year, the private sector, 37 South, invested $2.5 million, and each year they made $5 million back. So that is why I'm very passionate about bringing more events to the city and working together with the private sector.
Have you found that staying consistent on Facebook over the years with voicing your opinions on issues that are important to you and your electorate have helped lead to an increased engagement and also a larger following as well?
2018 was the first time I stood for council, and I came last. 2019 I stood again and came around the middle. Maybe third time lucky in 2022. But the goal is to start from the bottom and work hard to get to the top, into the top 6. Now, I have invested more in social media the past year, and the results show that I have engaged and got a lot more people viewing my stuff, a lot more people commenting on stuff, and basically giving their opinion on the issues that I talk about. Now, I think I'm not quite sure whether me investing right now in non-election years is going to be effective. We will we'll see next year. But Hamilton had a record voter turnout of 39%. That's nothing to be proud of. We need to get more people voting. We need to get more young people voting. The average age of Hamilton is 32, but the majority of people that vote are 65 plus. So I will keep doing this. I will keep engaging through social media. I'm not sure whether it will be effective or not, but we'll see.
Do you spend a lot of time planning what you're going to be talking about and discussing, or is it just a case of you speaking your mind?
To be honest, I don't spend a lot of time planning on what is going to go on social media. A lot of it is just that day, and you can see that I do need to work on it more. But yeah, the issues that I talk about, the polls, the majority of them are what's happening that week or what could happen in the future, meaning the next summer for concerts, the next year for bringing sports to the city.
Now, when it comes to discussion about particular issues and topics, there's some things which you are more careful about discussing on Facebook and social media than others, or are you open to discussing anything controversial and contentious?
I'm very open to discussing the issues that matter to people, whether it is topical or controversial, just as long as it's a respected conversation between everyone else, where the majority of the time that happens. I welcome all kind of debate, I welcome all points of view, and that's what makes our country so great and such a great democracy.